That's dope. That's dope.
What is up, everybody? It is Monday, June 21st, at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Bitcoin is dropping again. Today's live stream is sponsored by Geico. Just, let me fix this. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, Geico, make a joke. My Bitcoin position's underwater, but I just saved 15% on my car insurance by switching to Geico. They're not really sponsoring this. I'll probably get sued for saying that. A lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. I'm not sure if you guys watched the video that I put out earlier, but the line of negative news today was absolutely absurd. Literally Russia, United States, United Kingdom, China, Malta. FUD in every single country, everywhere in the world as Bitcoin price coincidentally drops. No surprises there, right? No surprises. But, it's humans. Everybody was really exuberant and excited when price was at 40K to 41K. It's finally happening. No, you're at resistance. And now we are, for the moment, not saying it'll hold, for the moment we're at support, and seemingly we have gone full bear mentality, depression, McDonald's applications being filed. And looking over here at your comments, some people spamming some stuff every single time. And my wife Emmy, my wonderful wife, she texted this the lyrics to this song. She said, "Put my hand up on your hip, by the dip, you dip, we dip." Every single time Bitcoin goes down, I think of that song. So it's so popular from my childhood. If you guys don't know it, here, I'm gonna actually play it.
Just goes out to all the women in the world, especially her. It don't even matter your age.
Y'all know this one?
Yo, fellas, I ain't forget about y'all. This is for everybody that likes to dance. Just listen to what I'm saying and do it and take a chance. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. I put my hand.
Y'all remember that song? When I dip, you dip, we dip. Buy the dip, the dip, the dip. Buy it. Put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. Taking off to another level. You're digging freak nasty without a shovel. This is my world. I'm just a squirrel trying to get a nut, so what's up? Right. Anyways, just a squirrel trying to get a nut, so what's up? That's all of us. So guys, I pulled up a whole bunch of charts. I pulled up the top 15, not USDT, not USDC, on CoinMarketCap, and we're going to look at them. Yeah, how could you not expect that song on the playlist today is Freak Nasty, Freak Nasty. That was that song. High school for me was I grew up in Florida, so it was the dip, donkey butt. Give me them donkey butt and them big old legs. I ain't too hard to beg. Ain't no shame in this game. Daisy Dukes. Come on, baby, kick them daisies. Look at them girls with the daisies. Everything by Two Live Crew, and of course, Doo-Doo Brown. Yeah, right. So that was tight. But that was basically high school for me. Let's take a look at some charts. And now, by the way, I'm sure that now this stream will get taken offline for a copyright infringement or something like that. But so first, Bitcoin, let's look. Higher lows. For now. Doesn't look great. This is not that great. Volume's increasing. For now. Higher lows. Low. Higher low. Higher low. Support. Right? What's funny, right? The death cross. Death cross. Killer. It's going to kill us. It's death for crosses. We had a golden cross on the 4-hour just the other day. 4 days ago. 3 days. Yeah, 3 days ago on the 18th. 50 MA crossing up the 200 MA on the 4-hour. See how well that worked out? Didn't. Death crosses, lagging indicators. Historically, they have actually been buy opportunities and not selling opportunities. But yes, right now we have lower highs, not great, and still higher lows. So still no need to panic in my very humble and uber bullish, admittedly, generally opinion. And here's the 4-hour chart. I mean, yeah, that looks a little bear pendenty, but not. Let's see what that looks like on the 1 hour. It actually looks like a descending pattern on the 1 hour. Interestingly, let's see, something like that. I don't know. Doesn't matter. But yeah, going in on the 4-hour chart, these are clearly EMAs on this one. Yeah, these are EMAs on this one. Really get rid of those. I would say that we need to break this line to start to think about heading back up. But like this was classic. Went to the high of the range, got rejected, dropped, came down to the EQ of the range, broke support, tested resistance, and headed back down. Now you expect to move down to this area. Nothing crazy here. But and we have that actually technically, that's hard. This is one of those divs, bullish divergences, where it's not quite the elbow I'm looking for. But technically, we just confirmed a bullish divergence on the last 4 hour. 6 hour probably as well. Did it? Did it? Did it? No. Dropped too low on the 6 hour. Not there. 4 hour. We had it on the hourly for show. And, you know, we could get bull divs on the daily here. Sorry, these are from the other time frame. Higher low. Lower low. Could get it. 12 hour. Same kind of thing. Higher low. Lower low. There's a lot of reasons to think that this could be bottoming. I know nobody wants to hear it because bullish and bearish at support. I get it. But does not look that bad to me. Could look bad. Could get bad real fast. Listen, this could get bad real fast. If it breaks 30,000 and closes below as opposed to wicking, it'll start to look really bad. But for now, this is where people file their McDonald's application. This huge range where you chop sideways. And, oh, we got to short it here. Got to get long. Got to short. No, this is how you lose all your money. And this is why I say, I'm not doing anything, man. I'm just sitting on my hands. Just sitting this market out. Only reason I'm even looking at it is to analyze it for you guys because it looks like doo-doo trash. But nothing's happening. Nothing is happening. But if you've been trading this range, you're doing pretty well. So yeah, I'm trying to check your comments real quick. People buy based on your videos. You don't have any idea. I think I just actually said that. But you, my friend, are in timeout. You can go sit with my 2-year-old over in the corner. Ayush Pant. Have fun. Have fun staying uninformed for 5 minutes. All right, let's look at ETH. Not good, but also potential bullish divergence. See that? Higher lows, lower lows. That's on the 4 hour. Let's see about the daily. Nah, 4 hour though. Potentially there. Let's look on the ETH USD pair. Potential bullish divergence. All oversold. Look, we know that here's Bitcoin again, 4 hour. Oversold. Makes the trip to overbought. That was the top. 41K. Back down to oversold. It can go way down oversold. It can go all the way down here. But eventually, back to overbought. So if you're a knife catcher, bullish divergence in oversold is what you're looking for to catch that knife. That's how it works. That's how it works. I'm not saying you should buy right now. I'm not saying it. Just saying that if I was still leverage trading here at support with a potential bullish divergence, oversold, that's the kind of thing you're looking for with a tight stop. Kind of thing you are looking for. ETH. I mean, this looks crappy up here. Bullish divergence coming out of oversold is kind of encouraging, but I mean, this has broken every support you got. And I would say this is pretty much the next one. I would not be surprised to see something like this from ETH on the Bitcoin pair. Right. One of those. Fake you out, wick down below. That's where you get it. If this bullish divergence doesn't confirm here and head up. But that's the kind of thing that I would be looking for on Ethereum, probably. More like that, to be technically correct. And like altcoins right now, as I've said, I keep having people get pissed off that I'm not sharing altcoins in the newsletter, but like I would hate to advise anyone to do anything that I think would lose the money. Like if Bitcoin goes way up, altcoins suffer. If Bitcoin goes way down, altcoins suffer. And even in this range, altcoins suffer. So it's a pretty crap scenario. That's what I'd be looking for ETH on the Bitcoin pair. Why is this not working? Okay. So we have potential bullish divergence there. We saw that. I mean, this doesn't look great. But this is a kind of a key support level here. I didn't look at any of these charts before this, by the way. I just kind of show up. You know, you got that. Let's just pull it over here so we can see it better. Let's go to the daily. Also, again, this is at the range lows, right? Forget you don't even need that line. We can draw it, but it's a good one. But this is at the range lows. See, it's drawn off this candle right here. Boom. Low, high, swept the lows, top of the range, lost the range EQ, down at the range lows. So this is also at support on ETH. And this actually swept the low. Not this low, but swept the range low. So not as terrible as it might seem. I think that, interestingly, 1920 is max pain for the options expiry on Friday, which is the biggest options expiry ETH has ever seen, which is not saying much because there's not that many ETH options for that long. But if max pain is where the most people trading it lose or are out of the money. So that's an interesting metric to watch. I would say that maybe if you break this, you head back up. For now, it's holding the range. If it loses it, your next, I would say, key area is 1700s and then all the way back to the 15. But then really, like, you know, it's starting to talk about the 2018 highs. I don't think we're going that low personally, but definitely possible. That would be a buying opportunity of massively epic proportions, in my humble opinion. But like, yeah, these potential bullish divergences all over the place. Hate to see them wasted. Hate to see them wasted. Let's look at BNB. Testing support again. Interesting that this is making a higher low here. Still no higher highs on anything, though. The problem is we're getting lower highs everywhere. We need to stop doing that. I put my hand up on your hip. When I do, you did, we did. USDT, BNB is sitting right on support. Man, everything is at support. So this is going to go either these are like epic buying opportunities, risky, or everything's going to break support and dump to shit. In which case you start looking off this candle. That's not it, right? Because there's really not much support through here. So we really want to see BNB hold 291 here. And then you're going to probably find a lot of resistance up here. I mean, there's a lot of resistance ahead on everything. I'm not buying any of this. A dollar cost averaging into ETH because it's just what I do. And I don't stop doing that. Come over here to the comments, see what y'all are talking about. Pumps and a bump. Pumps and a bump. Yeah, that was my jam too. Just trying to see what you guys are talking about. Bitcoin 16K for sure. Okay. For sure. Has to. Sell everything and go home. That would have been sell in May and go away would have actually been a very good approach. Bear market confirmed. You are a very negative person, my friend. That's okay. You have the right. But bear market was basically confirmed depending on your time frame when 42K broke, in my opinion. And that's why I say nothing to do until it breaks above 42K. Nothing to do. How long do you think this bearishness will last, Scott, until we see a steady rise for at least 2 months? I have literally no idea. Am I bugging out? No, I'm super chill. I feel good. I feel pretty good. Bitcoin ETF, I think, is not happening right now. Because if the SEC said they're not going to regulate crypto for this year, I can't imagine they're going to approve an ETF, but I could be wrong. Seems like they're just kicking the can down the road as usual. Put my hand up on your hip. Yeah, and I mean, the reality here is there's not that much you need to do right now. Just wait. Just wait. I know it's really hard on short time frames to see price go down, but do you think that like in 3 years, the price of Bitcoin will be higher than now? If so, then stop stressing. If you're trading it for money that you need today, I could see you stressing. Here's ADA, the next on the number 5 by market cap, if you include Tether. Looks like ADA is held really strong in this, actually. ADA is kind of just chopping sideways, but when the market's this ugly and ADA is moving like 1, 2, 3%, that's pretty encouraging, but it is below the EQ of the range. So you really want to be like trading up here before you do it. And then you're targeting up here. Right now, you technically have a break and retest. So you'd be looking for here. Not saying that will happen. It is nice that this is holding some sort of sideways momentum, but of course not on the dollar pair. That's irrelevant. I mean, these charts look bad. Do you think this has a bullish divergence? Potentially, right? They're all over the place. So if things find support in the next few hours and rise slightly, we could have a beautiful bottom across a ton of assets. But like, do I see a reason to be trading any of this right now? No. I would put that like that now, something like this. If it breaks above that, maybe you consider it. You can have resistance here, some support right here. I mean, this is untradeable. Untradeable. XRP. Didn't they get some good news from the SEC today or something? Doesn't look like it. That's clearly breaking support. Clearly breaking support, retesting as resistance. So if you're looking to buy XRP, I'd be looking for something down here, maybe. Down here-ish. Maybe you stop here. Maybe it rips right up, but this is clearly a support break. So you'd be looking for something down in this area. Let's look at it on the USDT pair. It was chopping in support for weeks, like literally since April, and it just lost that. So I would be looking down around 51 cents if I was trying to trade this. But my God, look at the volume in the last few weeks. Non-existent. Non-existent. I think Doge is next. Doge, this is an interesting spot. If this 4-hour candle can hold this swing low, that would be an interesting spot for Doge. Elon Musk, Saturday Night Live right there. Let's look at Doge on the USDT. Same thing. Same thing. No bullish divergence, but 17.98 RSI. Super oversold on the 4-hour. Daily price. And daily is just tapping oversold if it closes down here for the first time since September. God, man, I don't want to say it, but Doge looks interesting here. Doge actually looks interesting from a purely trading perspective. If it holds that, if it like closed right here and closed oversold on the daily for the first time that long, 4-hour is, I mean, when's the last time 4-hour was this oversold? Ever? September. Doge looks interesting. Doge looks really interesting. You know what? If this turns up, the last close, oh no, it wasn't. Yeah, that's gone. This is 6-hour. Dead. Hourly has bull div. Right there. Way oversold. Doge looks interesting. It's the only thing I've seen that looks interesting to me. Coming back over here. Hey, Jay Mustard is here. In case you guys are wondering, he's here. Patience seems to be the golden word. When you invest, you do it with money you don't need to touch for years. And you don't touch it, right? Analyzing Bitcoin today is like analyzing a guy shot several times in multiple vital organs. No, because that guy would be dead, and Bitcoin is not. This is more like a guy who fell off his bike and rolled down a hill, and people thought he was dead, but he was actually kind of fine. That's more what it's like. Show me the variable on the chart that accounts for higher regulation from fiat finance. Well, if you believe in technical analysis, then you believe that all news is in the chart and that news events tend to line up with the chart. But yeah, dude, charts are just a visualization of human emotion. When are people going to do dumb stuff? That's what you're looking for in the chart. People are going to be really dumb and they're going to get really excited and they're going to long 41K. And then they're going to also get really excited and short like 31 or 32K. That's what they're going to do. Yeah, it's way too risky to put money into alts right now, even though Doge is tempting. I agree. You don't need to do it. Yeah, everything looks like shit, but Doge looks like it could have a chance of reversing there. Hey, so beyond the chart, what is your view on the intrinsic value of these coins? Many have warned on potentially them dropping off a cliff when the momentum ends. I mean, what is intrinsic value really? People always say Bitcoin doesn't have intrinsic value because the dollar does. So the dollar's intrinsic value is what? The US military, their word that it's going to be worth something, because fiat currencies fail. What's the intrinsic value of gold? Just because it's been around a long time and it's shiny and people seem to like it and assign it value? All of it is a construct from our minds. None of it has intrinsic value any more than anything. I think you can make the argument that crypto, Bitcoin in particular, has more intrinsic value of any of them because it's actually math, right? It's mathematically scarce. You know exactly what the supply is. You know exactly when that supply will be cut. That's more than you can say for any other asset. So I believe that Bitcoin has more intrinsic value than any of the things that people compare it to, frankly. The rest of these coins, they're at the will of Bitcoin still, but the market is maturing and some of them will start to move outside of Bitcoin, I believe. But yeah, some of these coins, I mean, Doge has zero intrinsic value. That one I can assign a literal zero. It is a joke. It is a meme. It is fun. And that's fine. Just understand it. Do you think it's going to hit 100K this year? I do. I do. Charts mean nothing to me until I learned it's all on psychology, then it made sense. That's right. A chart doesn't tell you what's going to happen. It just shows you. It's the only way you can look at it in real time and see what people are doing. Like to me, as I always say, a chart is a risk management tool. It's an excuse for you, the way you analyze a chart or look at a chart, for you to place a stop loss and size your position. So even if you're like literally looking at like donkey poop to assign your entries and exits, as long as you can look at that and it gives you a reason to justify your stop loss, it's useful. Shiba Inu going to flip Bitcoin? Probably not. No, that's worth nothing. Zoom out and see where we are going. That's right. Always zoom out. Always zoom out. Scott, I appreciate the work you do, but sometimes captions and thumbnails can be misleading. That's all I'm saying. You're back from timeout and I like you again. Ayush. Yeah, it's fine, dude. You got to get people to show up. I have people that do that stuff. If you think I'm sitting around making my thumbnails, sadly mistaken. Sadly mistaken. Sometimes they'll catch me with my mouth open in the picture and then I yell at them. I'm like, I'm not doing the mouth low thing. Yeah, still a higher low, so don't freak out, kids. Let's go look at some more charts because me talking is annoying. Dot broke sport. It was kind of retesting this line, but is that really that exciting? No. I mean, you can't trade any of this, guys. You can't trade any of this. This is, hey, we got listed on Coinbase Pro. A puke. Total puke. Total puke. There's just nothing to see on these charts. And this is why I haven't been, yeah, Uni. This was a very clean and predictable rejection. We did have that nailed. But I mean, what are you going to do with these charts? Now, again, this is at support. A lot of coins at support, like really key supports. If it breaks lower, it will have a big bullish divergence. It already has potential on the 4-hour if it holds support. So I don't know, man. This is really as like touch and go of a period as I've seen. Like today, so many coins are testing support with potential bullish divergences that can be invalidated with the slightest sneeze. Bitcoin Cash, nobody. I mean, talk about a disappointing chart. Total fail. This looks like a head and shoulders. Yeah. That's bad. No volume on the breakdown, so it doesn't count though. That's what people don't realize. You can draw head and shoulders all day, right? Breakdown, retest, but you need volume on the breakdown or it doesn't really count. You had the volume there. You had this volume on the head spike. No volume on the breakdown. So, but technically, if you were trading this, here, I'll just show you your target. It's going to be real funny. Oops. Because it's logarithmic, target could be like 0. That's why it's stupid, right? Either way, that looks like crap. Looks like crap. Looks like crap. Just looks like crap. Everything looks bad. Stuff looks so bad that I'm almost eager to buy some things. Doge, I'm tempted to buy. I don't even want to do it. Not going to do it. It's tempting. Litecoin, potential bullish divergence. You can see it right there. Daily, not so much. Oversold. Totally just ranging sideways. I mean, what did Litecoin so boring? Why so boring? I mean, these charts, these all look like head and shoulders, right? But these charts are so bad. And I said this like literally a month ago after the drop. I said, we're not going to be able to like look at altcoins and get a view of how they look because of this. Like it's going to take them weeks, if not months, to reset. Right? These charts they just look bad because we've had such a correction and there's no way to gauge what new patterns are forming yet on any larger time frame. You can't even really draw support and resistance lines because this is so choppy. I bet this has a bull div. Not on the weekly. That's not what I'm looking for. What I'm talking about here. Oh, not so much. Litecoin looks particularly bad. Congratulations, Litecoin. Oh, there it is. Daily could get a nice one. Did that touch oversold? Not quite. Never got there. I don't know about Litecoin, guys. Link, breaking support. On the USD pair, breaking support. Don't even care about that, really. Need to break this line. Oh, God, I'm not even looking at these anymore. They all look like crap. Let's talk. Let's talk. I looked at DOT. I don't think DOT is going wherever Bitcoin goes. I think everything is going wherever Bitcoin goes. Is Fib a thing? Yeah, I use Fibs. I use Fibs. Humor Judd and talk about DOT, please. I already talked about DOT. Let's take a look at the dollar because it was reversing today. If the dollar keeps pumping, stock market's going to get real ugly, but that is not the chart I want. These are not the droids you're looking for. The dollar is dumping today. Could be coming back for that retest, but that's why stocks are pumping. Dollar it's ugly, bearish, engulfing potentially, and dropping. Right? Breakout. So maybe it comes back down to here or something, and then it heads up, or maybe this is just a complete fake out because that's what dollars do when you're printing them endlessly. Dollar does not look that great at this moment short term. So stocks went up today. That's why. Stocks don't go up, dollars go down. That's what it is. I have no idea who Satoshi is, man. No idea. What about Chainlink? Didn't I literally just look at that? Looked crappy. Link looks bad. Breaking support. Nothing to see. There's nothing to see on any of these charts. Look, Solana, nothing. Matic, disappointing. I've had this set up for a while. Broke down support. Never triggered. There was no reason to buy it, but broken. Broken. I really, really, really want to see like Bitcoin close like, 33 or higher here and make this much clearer. Then I would think that we might have a local bottom situation. Ethereum again, please. Come on, bro. Ethereum looks bad. Everything looks bad. Things look bad. Charts are ugly. get out now or hodl, that's literally never a question you should ever be asking. If you're a hodler, you're not thinking about getting out now. That's not how this works. Now, like, what do I do right now is completely the bipolar opposite of the mentality of hodling, which you shouldn't even be looking at what's happening now. I listened to Hours of Sailor last night. It's one of the few times I can actually say I feel more intelligent. Sailor's extremely intelligent. The guy is absolutely genius. I'm having him on the podcast again in a week or two. I can't wait to have that conversation. Has not been recorded yet. I'm pretty sure BitBoy did not make Bitcoin. Might have said he did. I don't know. Sorry, looking. Why, when Bitcoin crashes, the whole market crashes at the same time? I mean, at the exact same time. Newbie here, by the way. Ahmad, that's a great question. If you haven't been here for a while, that makes sense. So it's basically a movement of liquidity and just humans panicking. So at least when I started, now it's a little different because there's so many tether pairs, so you don't need to go through Bitcoin. But when I started in 2016, like, you would buy your Bitcoin and then you would move it to another exchange like Binance, or which was later, or Bittrex at the time. And then you would trade on Bitcoin pairs, not on dollar pairs. So anytime you wanted to like get money to dollars, if you were in alts, you had to sell those alts, get into Bitcoin, and then exit Bitcoin into dollars. So you had this sort of like chain reaction effect that anytime there was volatility, people would try to panic out of their alts, which would cause them to get more Bitcoin, which would cause them to sell their Bitcoin and go into dollars. And so that's part of it. But the rest of it is really that just like the entire market is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is like the SPX or the Dow Jones of the entire thing. And it's a gauge of the market health. And when Bitcoin is extremely volatile, altcoins do worse. So people rush out of altcoins into Bitcoin or into dollars. And it causes this sort of effect where Bitcoin wrecks everything. Coins, unfortunately, do not sort of have their own mind. They move based on what Bitcoin is doing. And it's unfortunate, but that's the way it is. The way it is. We need a couple of incredible news to change human panic to euphoria. No charge can support that. I mean, Paraguay is about to adopt Bitcoin. El Salvador just topped at Bitcoin. MicroStrategy just bought $500 million worth of Bitcoin at 37,000. There's plenty of reasons to believe that we've had bullish news. I don't think bearish move is moving price either. I think we're just ranging here. Can we talk about why an 85% slide isn't going to happen this time like it did the last two large pair bot moves? It could. You know, the foremost dangerous words in the in investing, according to Sir John Templeton. This time it's different, but I dare say this time it is a bit different because we have actual big money that's interested in the asset and looking for an excuse to buy. So I don't think we see an 85% correction, and we've seen plenty of 50% corrections in the past, but it absolutely could happen. Anything is possible. This could be a 3-year bear market for all I know. If it is, I'll still be here playing rap videos and making jokes and making videos. And in 3 years, when price is 100K, we'll be laughing together. Right? Looking, what about 1 inch, Scott? Nobody wants 1 inch. Ask any woman in the world. Satoshi Nakamoto is here, and he would say the creator is 44-year-old man, just like me, from California, just like me. How odd, because the team, that's just so odd. I'm in disguise. Well, apparently Satoshi is here and is my age. Do you think the stock market is going to crash? Eventually. But trying to time the stock market crash has been a fool's errand for a solid decade, and I'm not in the business of doing that. As Keen say, the market can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent, right? And the market is going up because the dollar is being devalued and they're printing more money, and I don't see them stopping the printers. Do you? Stocks only go up because the dollar only goes down. At the moment, I don't see how any news can make Bitcoin pump. LOL, just keep ranging. I think, Victoria, that's generally correct, right? Euphoric at the top, panic at the bottom. But right now, You need a lot. We're going to need a lot of conviction and selling to break the range to the low, which is possible. And we need a ton of buying, with even Michael Saylor buying 500 million at 37K and price still went down, right? So when you get to the top of the range, that's when you need serious buying volume. Maybe that's a trigger, like Tesla buying 1.5 million, sent us above 42K last time, 1.5 billion. Maybe something terrible happens and sends it below for a little while. But yeah, right now, I think there's just nothing doing, just ranging. Every single time I have a stream, someone says Joe Rogan died. Didn't happen, presumably. Last bear market was any alt pump, so the market was almost dead. There were plenty of times when there were these little alt seasons during the bear market, right? It wasn't all bad all the time. Totally fine. Looking at previous bull cycles, post-halving, we should be in theory halfway still through a bull cycle. Yes, I agree with that. If you look at Plan B's stock to flow model, he still thinks the worst case scenario is 6 figures this year based on that very idea. I still think we'll see 100K this year. Could be totally wrong. We might see 10K. I don't know. Just guessing, but I still think that we will see. I use logarithmic for a very obvious reason, because I like to see the percentage move and not the fixed move. Like, think about a $1,000 price move. If price is 1,000 and price goes to 2,000, you've just doubled. But if price is 33,000 and goes to 34,000 on that same 1,000 move, that should be reflected in the chart that it's a much smaller percentage gain. That is why. What do you look upon the market as in for next 6 months? Will it be bear or bull? I have no idea, but I think eventually in the next 6 months we will see higher prices. That's what I think. Doesn't mean it will happen. I don't know who shot Biggie, man. I wish I knew, though. I would invest in a crystal ball, but the last one that I bought, I paid like so much money for it. It didn't work at all. I don't know what this means, but it keeps saying that I'm the snipper. Anybody know what that means? This is a great point. Yesterday's daily close is a prime example of needing confirmation from following candle. Let's see what he's talking about. I say this shit all the time. Daily candle. This was like a beautiful potential reversal candle. For it to be a hammer, you would want it to be up here, called a dragonfly. Okay. Dragonfly, small body, nice long wick down, slight wick above. This should have been a reversal, but you can't. That just like this, right? Same candle. Reversal to the upside. Well, you need confirmation on the next candle to confirm the trend reversal, which is why it's hard to trade them. So should have gone up, didn't. Hey, maybe this candle closes all the way up here and we have a second one with an even longer wick, but I don't necessarily think that will happen in the next 5 hours. So yeah, you need confirmation of a candle. No candle in itself can tell you what is likely to happen. Sniper, not a snipper. That makes sense. Have you noticed any altcoins that are performing well even with this downturn in the market? You're the alt of cryptos. Well, I did see, ADA looked like it was kind of sideways versus Bitcoin. That's encouraging. But no, I'm not seeing anything. I haven't looked that deep because I'm not looking for trades. So I'm not sure. Michael, looks like we're getting some reversal signs on low time frames, picking up steam now, could close the day in a great place, maybe tweezers. Yeah, that's kind of, listen, my bias right now is that the drop has stopped for the moment and we're seeing these potential bullish divergences. A lot of things are at support and a lot of things are oversold. That doesn't mean that it can't break down. It doesn't mean they can't be invalidated. But I would say if you had to make a percentage bet, which is all you're doing when you're trading, is that I would think that we just saw the drop and that we should go up because of these signals. Because when you're at support, there's a better percentage chance you will bounce off support, at least temporarily, than that you will break it. So I think that that's definitely possible. Definitely possible. Opinion on Michael Burry's Head and Shoulders tweet. I didn't see it, but I'm assuming that when people are talking about Head and Shoulders, they're talking about, let's do the weekly. Ugh. Talking about this. It's a pretty hideous Head and Shoulders and completely not confirmed by, there's a pretty tall Head and Shoulders. I'll show you what, if this was a Head and Shoulders. Okay, I guess that was up there. I would say here. Here's your neckline, I would say. Right at the 50 MA on the weekly. And this would be your target. This is going to make you laugh. $0. Negative on a logarithmic chart. I can't even get back up there. Right. I don't think we're going negative. But if you looked at it strictly linearly, it's still about 0. Right? Because the target is the depth of the pattern. That's from 65 down to 30. So we're going to drop from 30 down $35,000. Literally would be Bitcoin going to 0 if you view this as a head and shoulders. Way too high in the head with the short shoulders. No confirmation of volume in the head. I think that it is absurd. But I would buy $0 Bitcoin if that dropped for free. I'd buy it for free. I would allow people to pay me to buy Bitcoin. Yes, according to him, it's headed to trash. Yes, he had the big short. He was smart, but people don't know. Yes, you can use a log for price target. Of course you can. If you'd use linear, you go even lower, down below 0. Poo-poo caca doo-doo beans. I agree. I did not see this interview, so I can't comment on it. I think we will hit 29.5 before heading back upwards. We're not going lower. I mean, that would be an interesting sweep of the lows. So, definitely possible. Wyckoff, it could make sense. Look at Wyckoff accumulation. Let me look it up one second. A lot of people are yelling about Wyckoff. Let's see, about a Wyckoff distribution, which we had, but look at this Wyckoff accumulation next to what's happening here on the 4-hour. I don't need to do that. Let's go at this, right? The spring would be a sweep of those lows, right? We had the SC, then we had the slightly lower low, ST, right? This is not the chart I want, right? So that would line up with your 29,500 idea. I don't necessarily think we're going to go there, but I mean, yeah, you have to be blind not to see the similarities here, right? So yeah, maybe we had Wyckoff distribution at the top, but now this looks like Wyckoff accumulation for sure. Happy Father's Day. Thank you. We have a lot of support around current price, in my opinion. Maybe slightly lower, but we're oversold with potential bullish divergence. Let's not talk about Wyckoff too much. They're children here, right? Yeah, the head and shoulders seems absurd. And yes, Burry has been saying this for years. That's the thing, man. And it works both ways. It works for me too. Like if we now go to new highs, I'll be like, see, and people will be like, you are still bullish at 55,000, you jackass. It went all the way to 30. And they'll be right to some degree. I'm Jack. Hey, listen, I bought the dip at 57,000. Not upset about it. I buy dips. Even if the dips dip more dipping. I put my hand up like this,
When I dip, you dip, we dip, you put yours, then I put mine. And we can dip down low and roll it grind.
Yeah. We buy dips. It's fine. It's totally fine. I don't even remember what point I was making, but yes. And, there's bears like Peter Schiff. Anytime Bitcoin drops, he says, I told you so, even though he could have bought Bitcoin at like $10, right? Buying the dips works until proven otherwise. Listen, if you believe Bitcoin will ever be higher than the prices at 65,000, then even buying a dip at 57,000 was a discount. I zoom out. That's how I do it. Favorite, either honey mustard or sometimes I like to get some ketchup and the barbecue sauce, like a Chick-fil-A, and mix them together and dip, especially French fries into that. That's the shit. Really good. I would say Elon is just a snitch in general, but I don't know what he's doing with Doge at this point, man. Really don't know. China cracking down on Bitcoin miners buying at 20K and below. I said this earlier. I mean, China cracking down on miners is good for Bitcoin. Like, it's bad for hash rate today as they all turn off their machines. We've seen all the videos. Oh, machines are dead. But Isn't the idea that we want more decentralization, that we want more mining out of China, that we want more renewables, that we want cleaner Bitcoin? Well, that happens by leaving China. How many trades are you doing these days? Precisely 0. I haven't traded, and I've told people this. I don't even trade anymore. Every once in a while, I'll buy something with a really long swing trade in mind, but see no reason to trade after the market. Listen, I accumulated for 3 years. I traded my ass off. I did everything I could to get more Bitcoin. And then it went from like $4,000 to $65,000 in a year. I don't need to trade. It's a waste of my time. It's a waste of my time. Trading the whole, let's talk about this. I've always said there's 2 reasons to trade. And my mentor, Chris Inks, you can read about him in the description. He's the one who taught me a lot of the things that I regurgitate to you guys. But he always said this, and it really stuck with me. There's 2 reasons in the world to trade. 1, make more money. 2, what's the other one? Anyone? Earn more time. So if you've traded and you've accumulated and you're still holding and everything goes way up, why would you ever trade? You do it for fun, or if you think you make a little more money. But I got to a point where like my stack personally was big enough that like, the number 1 rule of trading is preserve your capital. Number 2 is grow your capital. So I want to preserve it. I don't want to lose it. And I know I've only traded with 15, 20% of my capital because I know that investing is better. And there's a bigger chance that trading will lose it. I didn't want to lose it. So I sit there and I hold and I invest. And, there's guys on Twitter, I admire it. I think it's amazing, who will show you they're like 5, 10 million, 15, $20 million positions on Bitcoin. I'm never going to scale up to the level where I'm trading that heavily. And right now, the level that I'm comfortable with, like on an individual loss, regardless of percentage of my portfolio, is not enough that it would put a dent in my portfolio either way by trading it. So it's a waste of time in my mind. How did you learn? Well, I was really bad at it for a really long time. I've talked about this. I mean, I lost all my money trading 3 or 4 times. Kept coming back like a cockroach. Kept coming back. And then really when I started to get good, I found my mentor, Chris, and he really taught me the emotional and risk management side of trading that I was lacking. And that's really what got it done. Like I said, he'll teach you too. He has a course, howtotradetowin.com. It's in the description. He's the best. Like, don't get anything out of telling you that. The guy is just the best. That's how I learned. Trading is addictive, but it should not be, right? If you're trading and it's addictive, that's gambling. And the goal is where you don't feel the addiction. And like, I can literally sit here and not trade for months and it doesn't matter to me, whatever. I would happily do a voice recording. I don't know how I'm your dad's role model. That's really awesome. But I would, of course, I would do a voice recording. He was not personally mentoring me. I joined. So to tell you how this happened, the guy had a group. He had like I saw him on Twitter, 2016, and he had this one called Trig was the name of the coin. I bought it blindly, like every jackass on Twitter, and I made an insane amount of money. I was like, who is this guy? And I asked him, and he said he had a group, and they were those on Trello, and he had cards. He's the one who taught me to trade Doge cycles too. And so after I got into it, I just bothered the guy. Like I bothered him all the time. Bothered him until like we would be having side conversations. I would just ask him questions. Why am I doing this wrong? What's happening here? And he was always accessible and would answer all my questions and help me. It was amazing. And then I was like, listen, dude, you got to do a course. Like you got to start a Discord group, all this stuff. And so I convinced him because there's so much bad information in the space. I was like, you got to put good information out. And that's why forever, I didn't like, people were like, why don't you like start a group or do this and that? And like, no, man, I'm always like, if you want to learn, go to this guy. He's better. Why would I start it? He's better than me at it. And so he just like, kept building everything out. And I just think he's incredible at education. Yeah. I'm looking at the comments, guys. Dot support levels are somewhere between 12 cents and negative $5. I don't know, man. Dot, where is it? Dot just broke support. I would say Dot has support down here. Here, it's right at a support level. I don't know. You're probably talking about USD because whatever. 16.35 and then 13.696. Are we happy? Are we happy? Did you get the information that you wanted, Judd? I do not hold ADA. Chris is probably the most humble guy ever. He is. And listen, the thing is, I don't agree with like a lot of his analysis or what he says. I just agree with the manner in which he says it. And that's all that matters. Oh, you guys can't see the chart. Okay, there. Let me look. Dot, sorry. USD, somewhere around here. 13 bucks and 16 bucks right there. Sorry. He is the most humble guy ever. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't agree with his analysis necessarily. I do my own analysis. I just agree with how even he is about it and unemotional about it. And that's all that matters. Coinbase stock, good question. I'm I'm like running out of air. I've been underwater so long. Nothing to see here. Just chopping sideways. Terrible chart, really. Looks like an illiquid shitcoin that just launched. But there's a gap and a little doji. Maybe it goes up tomorrow. 4 hour has a gap. A little doji. Hard to get excited about, I'll tell you that. Hard to get excited about. Hey, will everything crash more? I don't know, but if it does, you can always get the dip.
Like I said before, y'all remember that down low. Just put a little dip with it. Now roll those hips with it.
Right? You just buy the dip. No, not owning Voyager stock is one of the greatest regrets of my life, but I do not. I'm new, so it feels like gambling. If it feels like gambling, then you need to work on that. You know, you shouldn't get that emotional rush. I bought the dip yesterday and the day before, and it continues crashing. Yeah, but your time frame isn't like for a day, right? It's not like you're not worried about what's going to happen today. You're worried about what's going to happen in weeks, months, years, right? What's there to get excited about? I don't know. Your children's birthdays. Summer. Summer's nice. Michael Saylor. He gets me excited. I think the feels like gambling was meant to mean she didn't see how it's not just guessing. Well, that's accurate. Yeah. And listen, that's why like investors beat traders. Like people can trade their entire lives and then realize that they could have just bought an index fund and would have made more money. Why did you like about the Doge chart? I don't know, because it looked kind of tight, bro. It's at support. That's why. And it's super oversold. It's right at support. So if it's holding this support, I mean, this was a major swing low on both pairs, Bitcoin and dollar, and it's sitting at both. That's what I like about it. That's what I like about it. Gambling, you lose everything if you're wrong. At least if you don't use leverage, you can still get something back. That's right. Absolutely right. Summertime. Time to sit back and unwind. Time to sit back in. Yeah, dude, Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, favorite. Fair Life, you guys just, I don't know what that is. Fauci arrested, that's not true. Donuts, delicious. I'm buying in it for the next decade. That's how you approach this. Could you see USA taking the same action as China? And if not, why not? Well, we're not a communist country. There's no unilateral decision-making by the government to eliminate or ban something. I don't think that the people who have gained exposure to Bitcoin in the United States, the billionaires, institutions, the amount of banks we're looking at it would be doing that if it was going to be outright banned. I just think they'll regulate it. The United States government wants nothing more than their taxes. They'll say they want to protect the consumer, but they do things that don't generally protect the consumer. They just want taxes, make sure they get them, be fine. I swear you sound like Matthew McConaughey every once in a while. Talking about high school girls. I get older, they stay the same age. Any thoughts on, I don't know. Thoughts on Tell? No, I don't have any. It is all a mental game because, listen, I've said this before. I believe that you could tell everyone. If I said to you right now, bunch of traders, if I said in 2027, Bitcoin will hit $100,000, I'm pretty convinced that most people who are trading would have nothing left when it got there because of the impatience of trying to trade it in between. They would lose their money trading with leverage, and they would never be there when it got to 100,000 because 100,000 in 2027 wouldn't be enough. A 3x gain, they would try to trade around it. I think that's what would happen. I think that would happen. I already analyzed ETH. I like it. It's fine, but it looks like shit now. Looks like shit now, like everything else. Would you speak on the shorts? Well, they're closing, right? You're talking about Finex, I assume, which is like, listen, this is probably one guy winding down his shorts. That's pretty good. But like Bitfinex is not, everyone talks about the Bitfinex shorting, but that's not the market that matters, right? I mean, people are trading with leverage on other places. Oh, look, Bitcoin's doing its thing, doing what I want. I think we're bottoming. I do not financial advice, but like, I think got an hour left, but this would be, I think we'd be going to the range highs if we confirm this bullish divergence here. That's what I think. Great stream and honest. Thank you, James. I try. I'm just a guy like the rest of you. I just don't really get that upset. The difference between great traders and good traders and terrible traders mostly is emotions and risk management. Like, and I woke up this morning and I saw that news. I was kind of pissed. I was like, man, this is bullshit. And I saw the chart. And I was like, oh, I'm so poor. If I start feeling that way, it's usually the bottom. I feel all this red is manipulated big whales. They want us to sell so they can fill their bags at a lower price. Yes. Listen, I don't know what that last part is, but yes, that's how this works. We can see on chain that whales have been holding and buying, and that retail who bought higher is who's generally selling. Does making content like this scratch a creative itch in the same way music used to for you? To some degree, it does. And I've talked about that before. Even doing charts to me is like being in Ableton and, you know, time stretching vocals and stuff like that. It does have a very similar sort of vibe. I subbed. I like that you're not one of these YouTube idiots. Thank you. I don't think I'm a YouTuber. I'm just a guy who puts stuff on YouTube. But like, I'm not talking about a whole bunch of, like, I don't know, man. You know, I just talk about large cap stuff and I'm having fun and trying to do it. I appreciate that. But I think there's a lot of amazing YouTubers. They're just, you know, people. It's entertainment. It's entertainment. Let's see, Michael, 4 hour. You're always here for this when I forget to check it. I'm going to assume if you're talking about a 4 hour RSI breakout that you're talking about something like this. I mean, I guess you could put it there. Is that what you're talking about? It's a little forced because of that. I guess like this. Yeah, I think that's fair. So we talk about this all the time, but you know, you can draw patterns on RSI or any indicator, and they sometimes tell you what's going to happen in the future with price. So maybe that's breaking out. We had one on the daily you had shown me a while ago. It's like from here or something. It was retesting. Didn't work out as well, but the idea still remains. Yeah. I mean, I wish I'd be here in an hour, but I won't be. Yeah, it's not exactly pretty, but it counts. Looking. Your comments. Willie Woo said price 200K by Q4. Why not? Why not? I would say the market's been depressing the last 1 to 2 months. We were in the 50,000s, like over beyond that. I don't think that was too depressing. Bought ETH at yesterday, 21.89. I think that's fine. Long term. Took me, I don't know, decades before I started making money from trading. I was terrible at it. I was gambling. I would like be trading on one screen and playing online poker on the other screen, if that gives you any perspective. No, I do not hold any Nexo right now. Still bullish on Link. I'm not bullish on anything right now because it's just unwise to be particularly bullish. Long term, sure, why not? I'm just confused how we can drop so much when in 17 it was mostly retail. Now it's corporations and countries. Yeah, but corporations and countries want to buy the dip, not the rip, right? I mean, Michael Saylor bought in the 50s. He bought in the 30s. Doesn't care. Price doesn't matter. But yeah, I mean, retail in 2017, we went all the way down 85%. That has not happened yet. Biggie is my favorite hip hop artist of all time, for sure. For sure. Who is the most annoying? That's a good question. Who is the most? Someone, I can't find it now. I think someone said, who is the most annoying MC to open for? I don't know. Kanye is like the worst, for sure. Kanye. We have not had Death Cross yet. I don't care about the Death Cross. Not my thing. Here it is. I don't know. Someone's done analysis on the Death Crosses of the past, but like, let's look at the last Death Cross. If you had traded the Death Cross on March 20th, 2020, you would have shorted 58.36 on the way to $65,000. Okay. If you had shorted the Death Cross in October of 19, you would have shorted 86.45 and price would have gone to 10,493 before dropping. Not good. If you had shorted the Death Cross in March of 18, you would have shorted you would have shorted at 6,700 on the way back up to 10,000. They're terrible, terrible indicators. They're a result of what already happened, not of what's about to happen. And like I said, look at the 4-hour Golden Cross, right? Golden Cross bullish. Price dropped immediately from 38,000 all the way to 31,000 on a Golden Cross, which should be bullish. Crosses are stupid. They're stupid. Why would the whales not have bought in 3 weeks ago? There will be one more big dip. Maybe they're buying now. I don't know. Well, if price is $1 million, if you think Bitcoin will be $1 billion, you don't care if you bought it 30 or 50. It's 3 o'clock. So did you go on tilt while trading and playing poker? How'd you manage? Yes, I went on tilt and I sucked. I've talked about this many times. My worst problem with markets, poker, which I was decent at, but still the biggest problem, like I could be so good for so long. You guys have seen it, right? You make like a ton of money and you lose it all in one trade. Yeah. My biggest problem was revenge trading and giving up my gains quickly. So I came up with a rule after a while, which was for trading, and I can't do that now because I do analysis for people every single day. But if I traded an asset, like say I traded Bitcoin, if I closed a trade, whether good or bad, I had to close that chart for 24 hours and not look at it and then revisit it. Because inevitably, if I made a bunch of money on a trade, an hour later, I would think I saw something, re-enter, and then I would lose all that money. Or my stop loss would hit, I'd get pissed off that I lost money and I would re-enter and price would continue down, meaning that my stop loss was actually perfectly placed and I would just lose more money. So yes, I would go on tilt. I would revenge trade like a dumbass and that was what would happen. But guys, bros, I usually close with my outro music and I do have to go. Thank you. That rule is helpful, but I don't know how to do this, but I just want to play this song for you on the way out because it's about dips. Hope you guys had a good time. See you tomorrow. Peace out.
This goes out to all the women in the world, especially her. You know it don't even matter your age, don't even matter your color. Yo, fellas, I ain't forget about y'all. This is for everybody that like to dance. Just listen to what I'm saying and do it.
I had to come back.
I put